Hi everyone, and good Tuesday morning to you. It's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm here with another update on our snowstorm heading our way. Again, much like I was talking about yesterday, this is not really going to be a problem during the daylight hours today at all. In fact, it's hardly going to do anything for most of the day today, with the exception of maybe our far southern viewing area. The problems are really tonight after sunset, heading into the overnight, and into the first maybe hour or two of daylight tomorrow morning. So that's kind of the general timing. I'll talk more about that in just a second. First, here's what's going on right now. Winter weather advisories are up in the purple shaded areas. That includes now Mahoning County, Columbiana County, and Lawrence County over in Pennsylvania. And the radar this morning shows no snow really, but some rain and a threat for some freezing rain down towards central Ohio this morning. We're not concerned about any icing problems here, but some of this precipitation is going to try to sneak up to maybe about Route 30 today. I think, towards lunchtime, we might see a touch of rain, a sleet pellet, maybe a wet snowflake or two in places such as Salineville, Lisbon, Guilford Lake area, heading down towards East Liverpool and Calcutta. Non-impactful stuff. The rest of us probably won't see any precipitation for most of the day today. So let's talk about what everybody wants to know about. That, of course, is the snow situation. First of all, here's our high-res model today for the next 18 hours showing just a little precipitation trying to sneak up to maybe about Route 30. That's about it. Otherwise, just a pretty uneventful day for us today. The colder air will make more inroads tonight. The moisture will become more entrenched tonight. This is at 8 o'clock this evening, a little after sunset. Starting to see snow becoming more likely across the region, and then the radar should fill in as we go through the overnight tonight. Now you'll notice here on the model I'm showing you that there's not much being shown. Ignore the green shading, it's not rain, it would be light snow. But there's not much once you get up towards Route 87, northern Trumbull, over into the Greenville area, Sandy Lake, places like that in northern Mercer, northern Trumbull. Those will be the places that get the least amount of snow with this. This is not a lake effect event, so the snow belt areas, actually in this situation we'll get quite a bit less, it looks like, than some other areas. I'm going to show you, what we've been dealing with over the past few days is the models waffling back and forth, and it puts us right in the zone of greatest uncertainty. And that's why you've seen kind of a variance of forecasts out there. Some forecasts are quite a bit different than others. Our forecast that we put out yesterday was definitely on the high side of what was available from television sources, from the National Weather Service, etc. We've made some adjustments this morning, which I'll show you in just a second. But notice, this is a loop showing the last few runs of one of our models, how the heaviest snow zone has been waffling all over the place. Same with this one. This is the NAM model. Yesterday afternoon it came in and printed out almost 1.5 foot worth of snow in our area, and then last night the newest run had almost nothing north of 224. So there's been some tremendous variances. Got a lot of back chatter yesterday about not only the forecast for our local area, but how different our forecast was for the Pittsburgh area compared to the TV meteorologists and the National Weather Service down there. I'll tell you, I think Pittsburgh's going to get slammed. I think those low-end forecasts that a lot of sources had for Pittsburgh yesterday are not going to be right. I'm not going to, I mentioned this yesterday on Facebook. I'm not going to spike the ball until the storm's over. But for areas southeast of Youngstown, closer to Pittsburgh, I think they could be really in the sweet spot for this. All right, let's start talking about our local area, of course. What I'm showing you here is one of many products that we look at. This is called the Short Range Ensemble Forecast. This is a model that has many different what we call members. There's like 21 different lines on the screen here. Each one of those lines represents a different part of that model. This is the snow forecast, and the numbers are a little hard to see over here, but here's 2.5, here's 5, 7.5, 10. Notice how big the spread is, and this is for the Youngstown area. The spread is anywhere from about 0 to 15 on this model, with the average being right in here, where that black darker line is. The average for Youngstown is about 6 when you take a look at the average. And this is a reason why I'm not convinced that we need to make huge changes to our forecast and lower amounts everywhere dramatically, because there's still enough uncertainty as of right now, almost 8 o'clock in the morning, that I would hesitate to make some huge changes. Here's a look at another way of looking at things. Here's a look at the computer model spread for the Youngstown area from our most recent runs of other modeling. Notice most of them, if not all of them, are right around 2-3 inches at this point for the Youngstown area, and maybe up towards Warren, Vienna, kind of that zone through there. When we look at Lisbon, down in central Columbiana County, amounts are definitely higher on the models. They're lower than yesterday, for sure. The trend has been lower, but they're still significant. This is still enough to be inconvenient and shovel and plow and cause disruptions. Just because we've lowered some amounts doesn't mean the impacts are nothing. I mean, they're still going to be significant. So, our models are in pretty good agreement down here in the Route 30 corridor of 3, 4, 5, 6 inches worth of snow in a lot of places. Now, here's what we've done with the forecast map this morning. Posted this a little while ago on Facebook and Twitter. Again, I still think the sweet spot is likely to be from about East Liverpool on south and east towards Pittsburgh, and points to the south and east of there towards the PA Turnpike. That's where, amounts are going to be at their highest and impacts are going to be at their highest. It's a tough forecast for our viewing area. Whoops. Let's show you. Oops, let me bear with me for just a second. I'm going to pop the radar back on here while I grab the zoomed in view of the forecast, the snow forecast. There we go. Clicked on a wrong thing there. Here's the zoomed in forecast for our viewing area. And again, this is a tough forecast because there's going to be a tight gradient. What I mean by that is, as the crow flies, 50 or even 40 miles can make a really huge difference. For example, Mespo, Kinsman, Greenville might be lucky to get an inch out of this. Whereas from East Palestine on south, 6 inches is going to be pretty common, I think. I showed you the Lisbon modeling, 3 to 6 there. And, in Mahoning County, there may be room for some further adjustments here. And some places could be towards the lower end of this 3 to 6 range. Again, ranges for a reason. 3 to 6 does not mean 6. It means 3 is just about as likely. So, there's a lot of possibilities here. There's still a fair amount of uncertainty, even at this close range. We're not far from the start time of this, basically 12 hours or so. Still a fair amount of uncertainty. So this is our most latest forecast. Stay tuned though, because we're going to be making more adjustments throughout the day. Another way of looking at things: probabilities. Here's a look at the National Weather Service probabilities of 4 inches or more worth of snow. Can't show the counties on here, unfortunately, but here's Youngstown right here, and here's Pittsburgh. Again, Pittsburgh's probably in the sweet spot. For the Youngstown area, chance of 4 inches or more, still pretty elevated. I mean, we're talking about 40 to 70% chance of 4 inches or more for, the 224 and I-80 corridors on this product. So there's a lot of different, information out there. You're going to see a lot of different forecasts as you're hunting around the internet this morning and watching TV. And our confidence as meteorologists is still lower than we would like it to be. We've made some changes to the forecast, but it doesn't mean that we have a high amount of confidence yet in the exact totals in your backyard. More changes, more updates coming throughout the day. Look for those on the WFMJ webpage, wfmj.com/weather, the Storm Tracker 21 app, and of course from myself and from meteorologist AJ Harris on Facebook and on Twitter. And she'll have an update at noon, and I'll be in nice and early this afternoon and have a full update this evening on 21 News at 6 and 11. Hope to see you then.